The Russian armed forces have sharply increased their activity in the Kherson direction against the backdrop of the US refusal to help Ukraine. The Russians are attempting to break through the Dnieper River. This is reported by sources both in Ukraine and Z channels. The Kremlin has obviously not reconciled itself to the loss of the only regional center it managed to capture during a full-scale invasion. There are signs that the aggressor is preparing for a new attack on Kherson. Back in late February 2025, some Russian Z channels reported that the 18th Army of the Russian Federation was preparing to force the Dnieper and create a bridgehead on the right bank. They claimed that the command had set the task of capturing Ukrainian Kherson at all costs and at any cost. During his visit to Great Britain, the head of the Kherson region, Oleksandr Prokudin, confirmed that the Russians have stepped up their attempts to cross the Dnieper in order to gain a foothold and create a bridgehead for an offensive. According to him, the Russian armed forces are advancing at 4 points: through the islands at the mouth of the river, along the Antonovsky Bridge, and near the settlements of Lvovo and Zmiyevka. Prokudin specified that attempts to break through are being made daily. The head of the regional administration reported that the order to force the Dnieper was given by the deputy commander of the Russian army. The identity is not disclosed. The Ukrainian official noted that the Russians need a bridgehead on the right bank of the Dnieper, including for negotiations. The threat of a repeated occupation of Kherson, according to Moscow's plan, should become another lever of pressure on Kyiv. According to Prokudin, the Russian army is suffering very heavy losses trying to break through the Dnieper. Ukrainian intelligence notes that many soldiers refuse to go on these assaults, realizing that the mission is suicidal. The Ukrainian Defense Forces control this section of the front from the air with the help of a large number of drones. Equipment and manpower that approach the river are almost instantly destroyed. Z channels do not believe that the mission can be successful. They note the heavy losses of the Russian armed forces during attempts to force the Dnieper, as well as the acute shortage of watercraft.
A placid fishing trip turned berserk for 3 New Zealand men when a dolphin weighing more than 400 kilograms appeared to fall out of the sky before crash landing in their small boat. According to Associated Press, no one was badly hurt when the 3.4-meter bottlenose dolphin jumped aboard the open-top boat Friday, said Dean Harrison, the owner of the nearly 16-foot vessel. Harrison and 2 companions were fishing near the Hole in the Rock, a picturesque spot off the far north coast of New Zealand's North Island, while dolphins frolicked ahead. The men saw a shadow across the bright summer sun and heard an almighty boom before chaos unfolded. The creature's flailing snapped every single fishing rod we had in the boat and severely damaged the bow as the trio clung to the sides of the vessel, said Harrison. One man had minor injuries to his arm where the juvenile male dolphin grazed his back and shoulder, but all 3 fishermen and the dolphin were otherwise uninjured. But returning the majestic creature to the sea was not an option for the trio due to its size. The men alerted New Zealand's conservation agency and were directed to a boat ramp an hour away, where workers waited to help the dolphin. On the way, the trio used a hose to keep the creature wet and protected it from the sun using a damp towel depicting players from the All Blacks rugby team. On shore, members of a local Maori tribe prayed for the dolphin before it was returned to the ocean using a tractor. Helpers gave the 2 to 3-year-old creature a name, Tohu, which means sign in the Maori language. Tohu is now also the name of Dean Harrison's boat.
Dolphin almost killed all 3 of us.